Bum, 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 bum. R.I.P. to the Queen. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a special episode of the Hopeful Romantic M.A.N podcast. Why is this a special episode? It's a special episode because today I have the honor and the privilege of having a recording artist that I admire. Um, he is absolutely fantastic, man. I've been following him on the internet. I reached out to him. I had the privilege of him replying. And I know he gets busy, and I know he's in the middle of dropping his new album, and he has a couple of big shows coming up, including his big listening party coming up in Brooklyn. I'm really excited to have him. He's very eclectic. He has his own style, his own lane. He's not a guy that he doesn't follow the beaten path, man. When you talk about artists, this is the definition of art. You know what I'm saying? He does it because there's a passion behind it. When you listen to his music, you feel the emotion, you feel the raw emotion, you feel the feeling that he puts into it. I'm really excited to announce, ladies and gentlemen, my man, the artist, the musician, the all around just great guy, my man, Timothy Perez. My man, I want to welcome you, welcome you. What's going on, my brother? How are you feeling today? How's everything going?
What's up, man? Thank you for having me. I'm feeling great. I'm excited to be here, excited to speak about it, speak about my music.
Let me tell you something. Um, ever since I started doing this, right, I always said to myself, I'm going to be very true to who I am. So I'm not going to bring anybody to endorse anyone that I don't believe in. I'm not going to bring anybody on that I don't feel puts out good music. I'm not going to go against any of that just to do people a favor. So when I first reached out to you, I had already listened to some of your music. I had already been following a little bit of what you do. I've been watching you on the internet. I've been, seeing everything that you do. And I'm like, you know what? I like this dude. I like him a lot, yo, because I could see the art coming out of you. As somebody, I'm a different type of creator. I create different things. That's my artistic is in a different genre, but I appreciate when somebody's very artistic, when
Yeah.
somebody's about their music and about their craft. So I just wanted to pose some questions, man, and I definitely wanted to ask questions that were different than what we might usually see in your bio.
Okay.
You know where you're from. He's from Sunset Park, Brooklyn. He's Ecuadorian and Puerto Rican descent. He's a young guy that's into music, influences of R&B, hip hop. We get that part about it. But I wanted to take a deeper dive. I wanted to take people behind the curtain so that they could see a little more about what you're about. Let's start here. Where were you always musical as a kid? When you growing up, were you always into music, or was this something that came out later in life?
As a child, I've been singing since I was around 7 or 8. But to answer if I was into music, it didn't really hit me until I got into high school. I was about 15, 16. That's when I really started exploring different types of genres because when growing up, it was mainly like gospel music and worship music.
Mhm.
So when I got to high school, that's when I really started to navigate in different genres and explore what I actually like, well, and enjoy listening to, which turned out to be like R&B and reggae and things like that along that nature. But I've always sang as a child. I didn't start writing until I was a teenager, though.
Where do you draw inspiration? Like, if you're gonna write a song, and we're sitting down and you're writing one of these songs that you've written, what are some of the things that give you inspiration? Are you life events, heartbreak? Just give somebody a glimpse of behind that pen. What gives you the inspiration?
Well, it's definitely heartbreak, and it has to do with a lot of my emotions, what I'm going through during that time. Sometimes I do write about other people's situations, like I take from that as well, but mainly it comes from whatever I'm going through at that time. So if I am going through a heartbreak or I am feeling emotional, if you listen to the album, it's going to be a lot of heartbreak in that and like a lot of pain. And it really pours out, and it's very therapeutic for me as well, because I'm actually getting to say what I need to and get it off my chest rather than internalize it. And
Beautiful. Love that. Yeah.
yeah, sometimes it's really difficult in order to do that, and sometimes I break down while doing it, but it pushes me to get through what I'm going through at that moment.
It's very cathartic anytime you could dive into your art.
Yeah.
Anytime you have, I'm very much like that. So right now I'm helping a social influencer. I'm basically her ghostwriter. I'm helping her write her book. And I'll be honest with you, one of the things is she goes into some very dark places in the story.
Yeah.
And I kind of have to help her write it. So I find that I'm a lot like you. My emotions dictate where I can go. So sometimes I have to take myself to a dark place to be able to write in the manner that she needs me to write.
Yeah.
I mean, like, so I hear you. So when I can see why if you're heartbroken, it would come out in your lyrics because it takes you to that place where the pen can speak for you. It
Yeah.
can speak for your soul. It can speak for your emotions. You know what I mean? Art is so special in that way. I love hearing when an artist talks like that because that shows that you're really about the art, that you're letting the art dictate the feelings, like tell you where the feelings are going to go. You
Yeah.
know?
And I never
Go ahead.
and I never want to like fake the funk or nothing like that. So I'm gonna try to be open and honest as possible and transparent about where I'm coming from, because I never want to lie, you know. And despite how that may come out, it may be a little too honest and too abrupt, but I want to get the point across as to how I'm really thinking and feeling in that moment.
Authenticity. Never apologize for authenticity. Never, because the more honest you are, here's the way the world works. There's a large population of people. The law number says there's a large population of people that feel exactly how you feel. So when you may feel like you're going to the extreme. Guess what? There's a population of people out there that are absolutely in love with the fact that you're going to the extreme because that's how they go.
Yeah.
That's what they love. They don't love. They don't love on the border. They love on the edge. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
They don't suffer and go through love and kind of like get over it fast. No, no. Some people they wallow and they feel every ounce of that pain. You know,
Yeah.
they want to hear somebody that, oh, I'm not alone. I'm not alone. As somebody who just went through something really traumatic related to heartbreak, trust me, when I was listening to your music, I was like, he gets it. He gets it. Yeah, I almost it almost took me on once. I can't remember the name of the song right off the bat, but it was one song you were singing, and I was like, oh, this is how I could pinpoint the day that I was feeling like this.
Oh wow.
These emotions were here. This is a couple of months, a month out of a relationship. You know what I mean? That I was in or whatever, and I could be like, oh yeah, this is exactly it. He nailed it. You know what I'm saying? And that's so important, man. It's so
That's so
important.
good to hear, man.
Yeah, it's so important to be authentic. It's so important to be real. You're the only person that can be, when you're an imitation and when you follow behind somebody else, the truth is that you'll never be the best because you're literally a carbon copy of somebody else. But when you're authentic and you're yourself, let me tell you something, man. There's something beautiful about that because you become perfect in your imperfection.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying all the mistakes, whatever it is that you don't do right, because the people you're the first one. That's how they're going to admire you. That's what they admire about you. They're like, this guy, he put himself out there, man. Yo, that the way he was able to hang his emotions and show us, give us that glimpse into his mind it's special, man. It's special. I can't express to you how special that is. Especially because so many people right now are going through so much emotionally. You know what I mean? There's a lot of people that are not okay right now. A lot. One of the conversations that I have with men, one of this platform that I've created, um, a lot of it has to do with male vulnerability, man. And being able to have those conversations. That, yo, Mike, man, my heart hurts, bro. I'm not doing good, bro. I don't. It's not the I'm good. I moved on, yo. I'm with this next girl. I'm chilling. No, none of that stuff. Sometimes you have to be able to say, yo, I'm not good, man,
Yeah.
and
Of
be able
course.
to have that conversation. And I think that your music is a beautiful gateway to that type of conversation because I can see myself having a beer with some friends, listening to your music in the background, talking about, you hear that shit? Yo, you remember that? You remember when you went through that shit, and we could start just the conversation off of that. You know what I mean? I think that's amazing. That's amazing. Um, talk to us about this project. I felt like you told a story. I felt like you told a story. Like when you pieced everything together, you were telling a story about a time in your life. Could
Yeah,
you
definitely.
can you tell the audience? Give us that story. What was
Woo.
the story that you were trying to portray to the audience? Because I got it. I'll tell you this much. I got it. When I listened, I was like, oh, I see what he's doing. He's telling a story through music, you
Yeah.
know. And well, go ahead, please enlighten the audience. Let us know what was the story that you were telling.
Well, back in 2020, I had just gotten out of a 4-year relationship.
Yeah.
I was living with this person for like 2 years, and it ended like in right smack in the beginning of the pandemic. So like I was stuck there, knowing that I wasn't wanted or anything. So I was in a really dark place, very dark place, and I thought I wasn't going to be able to get out of it. Um, my best friend, who is also my roommate now, we ended up, God blessed us with an apartment, so we ended up moving out. She's also a musician and artist. Her name is Karen Gabriella. And before that, I took a break from music for like maybe 5, 6, 7 years because the industry hurt me. A project I was working on back then, it didn't pan out the way that we thought it was going to. I didn't know my own sound. I didn't really understand where I wanted to go with music. But my best friend, she really encouraged me, and my manager now, he really encouraged me to really try to find that place. And that whole year of 2020, I was like, to be completely honest, I was inebriated almost every single day. I couldn't function because
Mm.
everything was just going. It was going to shit. To be honest, my emotions, my finances, my job, my schooling. I had dropped out again. I lost my job that year. I had to find an apartment. So it was just everything was just. I was wilding out like to a point where like there were days I didn't remember, but like I really got a hold of myself because they encouraged me to start working on music again. And let me tell you, there were days that we were in the studio and I would just start bawling my face out because I couldn't finish the song because it was too difficult for me. But luckily, like God really brought me through that. And damn, I get emotional just thinking about like that time in my life.
Get emotional, my man. Get emotional. Get emotional. I love it because, ladies and gentlemen, in case you don't know, this is what art looks like.
Yeah,
This is
man.
what art looks like. This is art. If art is supposed to move you, when you look at it, you listen to it, you read it, it's supposed to move you. And let me tell you something, when the artist is the one, right? And he's basically telling you the story that was behind this music, and it's making him an emotional, it's bringing him back to a place. You know what I'm saying? A place that maybe he doesn't even want to go back to.
No, I don't.
A place you don't want to go back to, but guess what? He's taking you on his musical journey, and I hope you really appreciate what an artist does for his craft. You know what I'm saying? I think it's a beautiful thing, man. Listen, I understand. I understand. You know, I understand more than you think. I'm glad that you took that pain and you turned it into power.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? You put it to your pen and you turned it into power. You grabbed that pain and you said, you know what? I'm not going to let this define me. I'm going to make sure that at the end of the day, it always starts off like this, man. Fuck her. I'm going to show her this is bullshit. I'm better. I can't believe, and you're angry. But I love how you're able to grab that anger. And any good man, what we're able to do is we're able to grab that anger and we're able to transform it, mold it, because it's energy. And
yeah,
we grab that energy. It doesn't. We can't destroy it. We don't get rid of it. We transform it, and we grab it, and we mold it, and we turn it into a positive. And we grab that energy. And we instead of aiming it in that direction for negativity, we grab it and we point it inward and say, okay, now what can I do with this energy to be the best version of Tim that I can be?
yeah,
What version of Timothy Perez is the best version of himself? And guess what? You had to go through that pain. You had to go through that, learn those lessons. I always say the universe doesn't know late, it only knows right on time.
mm-hmm.
So
That's
you
fine.
had to learn those lessons. It's its way of molding you, like steel and fire, to mold you. Right when you felt like you were falling apart, you weren't falling apart. You were falling into place. You were cementing yourself for growth, and now you're going to grow, and you grow into this unique, beautifully imperfect new version of yourself. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
And I'm glad that you were able to use music as your avenue to do so. You know what I mean? Um, let's talk more about your music. Let's talk more about your music. Sit us down and give us some of the writing process. What do you do? What's your writing process like? What do you dive into? Do you need quiet? Do you need noise? Do you need people around you? Do you need a lot of action? Do you need solitude? What's your writing process?
um, I usually just sit down and I have a pen and paper with me. I'm one of those old school people that like to write the lyrics down. I can't use my phone really or like electronics. I need to see it because I like to cross things out and then write on top of it and stuff like that. Um, I like riding around like my best friend and manager, but before that, it was always by myself in solitude and everything because it really got my thoughts out and I got to think. I like to listen to like the beats behind me consistently, back to back, like continuous repeat, just so I get an idea of it. And most of the time, it starts off with like a little melody, and I'll go based off of that, and then I'll start plugging in the words. It's like a little puzzle for me. Like I start filling in words, and then afterwards I'll go back to it, see what works, what doesn't, try to fix it up, try to change the words around so they're not just like plain and simple, but they have like some kind of definition to it and some type of meaning behind it. And the second verse is always so difficult for me. The first verse can come like that so quickly, but the second verse takes me quite a bit of time because I don't want it to be less than the first verse. I want them to be equally as powerful in the song together. But hooks come to me so quickly as well. But that second verse is a killer.
The second verse is a killer.
Hmm.
It's always that initial idea that is a that it hits you like lightning, and then you kind of got to play on it and say, okay, I can't just leave this idea alone. How do
Yeah.
I add to it? And it's always the adding to it that becomes a little difficult. I get it. I get it.
Hmm.
Happens to me when I write. When I'm writing, I'll have a premise, and or the beginning of the I sometimes I have the title of the chapter, and I'm like, oh, I got it. And then
Yeah.
like fill in the back end, you're like, oh man, this gets a little tougher as we go on. No, I definitely get that. So you said your genre of music, you enjoy reggae, R&B. If you had to give somebody, if you had to say, hey, look, you want to listen to Timothy Perez, listen to this type of music. Go to this genre. What genre are they looking for when they go on Spotify, when they go on iTunes? Because I'm going to be putting your stuff up on Spotify on my account, so they'll be able to listen to your playlist.
Hmm. Honestly, I'm not sure. I would just give them the genre of reggae and R&B pop because
Reggae, say it like that. Talk that stuff. Reggae, R&B, pop.
because there on 759 there's not a lot of reggae, but I am coming out with a reggae album later on, but that's a totally different project.
Okay,
But,
I like that. I like the diversity. I like
yeah.
that.
So this one I would say like R&B pop and like reggae pop.
Reggae pop. I like. So when I make the playlist, I'm gonna make it as reggae pop. That's what I'm gonna put up there. That way, when people go looking for it, at least now, check that out. Now you have your own genre. Now you're gonna have your own genre, man. Reggae pop. Why not? This is about making your own lane. It's about making your own lane, creating your own situation. You know what I'm saying? Now all of a sudden you could be the first authentic reggae pop guy. You know what I'm saying? Like who knows? We never know, you know. But okay, so we're talking about. Tell me more about you. You said you went through some tough times, through some heartbreak and through some where your life was kind of in a spiral. Um, what I want to know is take me to that time. Take me to that time and match it with a song, right? That you put out. Match. Give me a time and a song. Like so, give me the song, right? And be like, hey Mike, so this is the song, and at that time, this is what was going on. This is why I wrote it.
One of the songs is called "For You." Um, the chorus, it's like, "Cause if we work hard, you know that I got it," and then it goes, "You know that I got it for you, for you." And that was between the time that we had broken up and that time period, because we did get back together for a short amount of time after that. We got together for about like 3 months, and I was really trying to like say like, if we really work at it, we can actually be together. We can do this. And at that time, I was really trying to still fight for the little dwindling flame that we still had, and that would be the whole definition of the song "For You." But after like 2 3 months of that trying again, I got to a point where I was like, I'm done. I can't do it no more. I had to come to terms with that for myself because it wasn't my choice the first time or the three first times around. So
Let me tell you something. I can't even tell you how many people just that probably is going to resonate with. How many people are going to be like, yo, you know what? I know exactly what he's talking about. You know what I'm saying? Like this is the, I said it before, but this is what I mean, man. Like your musical journey, your how do I put it, man? It's called something. It's not a library. Your musical, it's a piece of work. What's that called, man? There's actually a name for it. Your musical. Oh man, I can't remember there's a name for it, man. But all I know is that when the music takes you on an emotional journey, when the musical takes you to a place that you've experienced, you know what I'm saying? There's a name for this, and I'm it's gonna haunt me till the time we're done. But yeah, there's a name for it where people don't they're just not putting out work. They're putting out something called man, Kanye West does it. All these guys they do it. They call it this one thing, and it's when you're telling a story about a time and a place in your life, and that people can relate to. You know what I'm saying? That people could go back and be like, "Yo, I was there. I've lived that. I've experienced that. I understand what he was going through during that time." You know what I mean? There's a song. I don't know if you know Giveon,
yeah, I know.
right? Think about a song like that, right? He plays that song, and 99% of the people that listen to it, because they say when you're happy, you listen to the beat. When you're sad,
Mhm.
the lyrics.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that song, right? That kind of what he was saying in that music, I promise you, and I'm not comparing you to him. When I listened to some of your songs, I kind of it almost brought me to like that same type of emotion where I was like, "Yo, dude, I could you painted a picture. You painted a picture, and I'm walking myself." There's a couple of songs that do that. Neo, I'm so sick of love songs, Neo,
Yeah.
and he's literally singing you, and you're watching him how he changed the answering machine and he did all that, right? Or
Mhm.
how he walks in the house and all his stuff reminds him, whatever. That's how your music makes people feel. They're listening to what you're saying, and they're like
That's
walking
awesome,
through.
man.
They're walking through the apartment. They're walking through the conversation you had with the girl. They're talking about that breakup, that minute that you felt that it was over forever, the minute that you thought, yo, I lost this one person, or the minute that you knew, even though you guys still love each other, that it can never, that's it.
Yeah.
Of course, it was time to move on. You know what I'm saying? All that stuff. All there's some music that you have where, yo, you felt the depths of the spiral that you were in. You know what I mean? You told
Yeah.
the story. I want to congratulate you. Really told the story. It's
Thank you.
I think it's a really good. Like I said, I wouldn't have had you on. I wouldn't have brought you on. I wouldn't be giving you props. I wouldn't be talking to you if I didn't feel like, yo, you killed it. You know what I
Thank
mean?
you. Thank
Killed
you,
it.
man.
You killed it. What do you call it? Tell us. So what's? I know you got a big project coming up now. You'll be doing an album release party or a music release party. Tell us about that. Maybe you want to plug that, put that out there. Let some
So,
family know.
we're not releasing the music yet, but we're having a listening party on the 24th. It's
Okay.
at a place called M.A.N's in Brooklyn. Um,
Marianne's in Brooklyn.
it's from 7 to 9. It's in Bed-Stuy. So
Yeah, I'm gonna write that. I'm gonna put that. I'll put it in the comments when we're done, and I'll put it in the bio of the when we put it on Spotify that you'll be having that listening party. So have you done a lot of advertising for it? Have you put it out there?
I put it on Facebook. I put it on Instagram. I sent a couple of. We made a little flyer, so I sent that to a couple of my friends and family, the ones that don't have like social media.
Yeah.
So hopefully it gets out there. People pull up.
Friends, family, September 24th. What's the name of the place?
M.A.N's Brooklyn.
M.A.N's in Brooklyn, September 24th. M.A.N's in Brooklyn. Timothy Perez comes out with his debut album, right? He's going to be dropping it for the world to listen to. I highly recommend you coming. It's going to be an intimate environment, and I think it'll be the perfect. If this is me, I'm just guessing now. I don't know, but if it's you, a microphone, a small location, and dim lighting, I think it will be the perfect for your album because people will get. So a couple years ago, I went to this guy. His name is Chemistry, or Chem. He was a singer, and I went to a theater, and in the theater when you walk in, it was a nice little small theater, very intimate. He had like a piano, and he had candles everywhere, and you sat there and you felt like you were singing one-on-one.
Yeah.
And let me tell you something. I have a feeling that your album that'd be perfect. One-on-one, just sit there, and you come in and you really you would kill it. You would kill it. So anybody who gets a chance, please show up the 24th. What time does it start?
7:00.
7:00 in Brooklyn. What do you call it? We're definitely gonna put it out there. I'm gonna put you together a little flyer. Let's do it like this. Let's look at the timestamp. Okay, ready? We're gonna do a commercial for it. I'm gonna clip this for you, and this is what we're gonna use to put out there for you. We want give us a brief promo. I'm gonna say ready, set, go, and you're just gonna go and give us a promo on why people should come out on the 24th to see you. You ready to go? 1, 2, 3. Let's go. Let me know.
What's up, everybody? I'm having a listening party on September 24th at this place called M.A.N's Brooklyn at 7 from 7 to 9, and you should come through because I would love for you guys to hear my album, and it's really coming from my heart, and I poured my soul and everything into it, and I think you guys would really, really enjoy it, and just pull out. They got some good food and some good drinks too.
There you go. My man, he said they got some good food, they got some good drinks, you're going to get some good music. It sounds like a date night to me, man. It sounds like a really nice date night to me, to be honest. You know what I'm saying? You get some people together to get out there, come through, have a nice little dinner, a nice, some nice music. He might even give you guys a shout out at the table. You never know. You get some brownie points for your date. All right, so back to your music, man. Back to your music. What are you said you were working on a possible reggae album. Where's the inspiration to do reggae come from? What do you like about that genre of music?
Oh, I just love the flow of it. I love the beat, the rhythm of it. I love the fact that you can really speak your shit on it. You can just say what you need to say and you can just vibe out to it. It could be so deep, but you're still like you're vibing with it, The whole vibe is crazy to me.
The vibe. I love reggae has a special it has a special bounce to it, man.
Mm-hmm.
Special bounce to that. If you capture the essence of it, you can get a crowd rocking like no other music. I absolutely love it. Absolutely. So who are some of your musical inspirations?
Musical inspirations? Well, my favorite artist is what happened?
Yeah, go ahead, answer. You say
my favorite artist is Miguel.
I like him. Yeah.
I love Whitney Houston. I love Bob Marley. I love Lauryn Hill. Who else I like?
I ask you a question. Tell me yes or no. Not a But I got it's weird because I'm not a musician, so I don't want to fill his name out. It's the content wise. I got a lot of The Weeknd from you.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, this is what I mean by that. When I listen to a lot of The Weeknd's music, you can feel the suffering behind the music, right? And in that aspect, that's where I get a lot of from your music. I can feel the pain.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to give you I feel the pain, and I'm like, who do I feel like when I hear sing? You know what I'm saying? I'm like, yo, this guy's going through some shit. One of the guys that comes to mind is the Weeknd again, but he's just that artist that I'm like, he kind of got that pain that I want you to know that yo, I was in a dark place when I
Yeah,
song type of music. So you say Whitney Houston, you said Bob Marley, you said Miguel. I like the Miguel comparison. That's a good one. That's a
yeah,
good
I
one.
love Miguel. I got to see him twice live.
Nice. He's awesome, man. He's awesome. Where can people find your music?
Well, it's currently not out right now. We're not ready to drop it yet.
Okay,
So
when are we planning on dropping it? What are we gonna do?
I'm hoping in the next month or two. That's why we're having the listening party first, and then we're gonna discuss like the release date. Then we're gonna drop a single, and then hopefully the album comes shortly after that. But,
Mm,
but once we do drop it, it's gonna be on all platforms after that.
beautiful. What is there any particular song you're leaning towards leading with?
For a single,
Yeah.
hmm.
We're gonna talk behind the scenes, but I got one in mind that I was like, yo, I hope
there's there's a couple up there.
yeah, there's a couple, but I got one that I was like, bro, if he leads with this shit is fire right here. You know, crazy.
there's, it's in discussion right now.
That's all. No. Anytime, you're gonna have to have a discussion about what goes first. That means you have a lot of quality stuff. So that's good. That's a good thing, man. What do you call? Okay, so let's talk about you as a young guy, man. As a young kid, is your family, are they musical? Do they have a musical background or?
Oh yeah, my mother sings. My father write. He used to write music. He's still writing music every now and then. My brother used to rap back in the day. My sister, my other brother, they used to sing too. So
That's
my grandmother sings as well. She sings in church still to this day. So
awesome. That's awesome. That's awesome. What do you call it? So, and you said a lot of your music growing up was Christian, was it like a gospel
oh
or?
yeah, there was a lot of worship music like Hillsong, Darling Setch.
Mm,
Um, I can't remember his name, but it was a lot of that old school worship
yeah,
music.
yeah, yeah. No, that's cool. That's cool. I got you. I got you. And now look at you, man. You got your own. Okay. Do you work with anybody in particular? Is there a producer? Is there anybody you work with closely for your music?
My best friend produces a lot of my stuff, and so does my manager. But we also worked with.
Give them a shout out.
I'm not too sure if I'm allowed to yet, so
Ah, okay.
so I'm gonna keep that on the low.
No problem. No problem. I got you. No, definitely. Always important, to have a good team around you when you
Yeah,
put the music together. You know what I'm saying? And especially if you guys have that collaboration, that ability to collab together, man. That's a beautiful thing. What do
for
you call
sure.
it? Man, I'm really excited. What do you call it? We're gonna put links. I would like to put if you can. This is up to you. If you have one or two songs that you can put, you know what I'm saying? Because it would go perfect with what we're trying to do here. Put a link to one or two songs. That's up to you again. Um, but what I'm definitely gonna do for you is once the album drops, I'm definitely gonna put it on my Spotify account, put it on my playlist for you because I want people to hear it.
Yeah,
Um,
awesome.
what do you call it? We're gonna clip out a couple of pieces here for you to advertise that little spot that you just did for your show. I want you to use that. I want you to promote that because I really think that the key for your success, all people have to do is see you. Once they see you and hear you one time, they're gonna fall in love with you. That's the kind of artist you are. I think that's the kind of music we're putting out. All you got to do is get the eyeballs. Once you get the eyeballs on you, man, the success part, that's gonna come. The fame part, all that's gonna come. It's just a matter of getting through this little hump where people have to get to know who Timothy Perez is, man. Once they do that, yo, you will see. I see nothing but a bright future in you.
Thank you.
I think you're gonna be fantastic. I'm very happy that you put all these emotions and that you put a lot of what you're going through into your music. I'm glad that you were able to put away, put the alcohol and all that stuff away and really say, yo, you know what? Instead of grabbing that energy and letting it destroy me, I'm gonna grab it. I'm gonna make myself better.
Yeah,
And I'm
you need to.
gonna energy. Absolutely.
The one thing I want people to get away from like my story and what I'm putting out there is that like there is a light at the end of the tunnel. As cliche as that sounds, like I
Mhm.
thought I was not gonna get over it. I thought I was gonna stay in this rut for a very very long time. And the day that I realized that I was out of it, I started crying. I'm like, yo, God, you really brought me through this. You got me out of it. Like, I'm no longer in that place where like I just want to stay asleep. I want to just drink and go to bed and not wake up, and then wake up and do the same shit all over again. Like, God really took me out of there, and I'm like, I'm grateful now, because 2 years ago, my friends could tell you, the people around me could tell you, they saw it in like in my demeanor, how depressed I was. I was just gone. I wasn't present at all.
Let's look back and say, you know what? This was your journey. This was the journey. Because remember, without that, a lot of this creativity, a lot of this emotion that dove into your music wouldn't be there to draw
Yeah.
from. You know what I mean? So unfortunately, sometimes we have to go through. What I always say is, during the downtimes, during the highs in life, we find happiness. During the lows in life, we find wisdom. You know what I mean? So I'm glad that during those lows, you were able to pull the wisdom and now use that to become a better man.
Yeah.
You know? I'm excited, bro. Like I said, bro, I think that Tim, you got a bright future. I think this music is you're gonna kill it. We're gonna close the show right there. We're gonna close the show right there. I definitely want to say thank you so much, man.
Thank you.
As somebody, right? I always close my show the same way. Mark Twain says the most important days of your life are either the day you're born and the day you discover why. I always like to thank my audience for helping me walk in my why. Because this is what I love to do. I love to entertain. I love to talk. I love to, put my art out there. I love to write. This is what I like to do. I like to create. But nothing inspires me more to create than when I meet somebody who is also creating. So I want to take a minute and say, yo, you know what? I'm loving that I'm watching you walk in your why. You know what I mean? Because like I said, the two most important days, the day you're born and the day you discover why. When you meet somebody else walking in their why, it's a special thing to see.
Yeah.
So with that said, ladies and gentlemen, I want to say thank you for joining me tonight. This has been a special episode to promote my man, Timothy Perez, artist, singer, overall creative artist. And this has been a special episode of the Hopeful Romantic M.A.N. podcast. I'm your host, Dropping Dimes, a.k.a. the Hopeful Romantic, a.k.a. the feminist with chauvinist tendencies. Ladies and gentlemen, you have a blessed night, and look out for this guy, man. He's going to be something special, and I can't wait for you to listen to his music so you can share and hear what I heard. And this is a superstar in the making, ladies and gentlemen. Once again, give a round of applause for my man, Timothy Perez. Yes, we are out of here. Take it easy, people.